He has passed away in his 50s recently. A very influential person, a very warm-hearted person, as seen by the poem. I have not seen his lectures because his YouTube channel was also disbanded or banned recently, but he has a lot of followers. So again, like any preacher or any public figure, especially spiritual figure, he is also controversial. So we are not looking into that, whether he is legit or not. We are looking only what I see from the poem, and I'm also like happy that I'm the one reading this poem because I do not know much about him. Like I'm not in like in his follower or his critic. So let's see. So first of all, we notice that the fingers are a very fun-loving person, but also at the same time sensitive but practical. Why sensitive? Because we see that the fingertips show sensitivity. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the person is hurt easily. It shows that he is very intuitive. He can pick up on others' feelings very easily. Of course, at young age, he must have been shy because the little finger is low set. But if we see, it is then reaching here eventually. So this is also I've seen in Narendra Modi, Shah Rukh Khan, that they have this low set pinky finger, and then if you go to the old books of palmistry, they say if you have low set pinky finger, you can't excel in speaking. But here I've proven it totally wrong. That's why palmistry nowadays, there are better books, better people on YouTube to guide. So old palmistry used to be very fixed. The books are very excellent, but they used to be very fixed and fatalistic. But no, now there's a change in that. Now we also see that the little finger is low set. So when the little finger is low set, that again means that the person might not be very self-confident or might not have what do you say leadership ability. But no, this is counteracted by the thumb. You see the thumb's length. This just means that he has to work on it. So this means that he wasn't born with it. He has to work on these things. So we see that as well. Now his third finger is exceptionally long, very long, which shows his talent, and it is reaching like on the Saturn finger. Now we see that the fingers are mostly straight. The Jupiter finger is a bit curving, which means that he might, make ill use of his authority. Like it was rumored that he bought a private jet. But if we see the other fingers are mostly straight, we see that the Saturn finger is a bit short and the Saturn mount is not developed, which mostly the true or the very, very saint-like spiritual people, like basically when the Saturn mount is very strong, the person is very serious and they do not overspend, they do not, they're more, what do you say, melancholic. They can make very good teachers, they do make very good professors, but they will be very, what do you say, not showy. They won't be a show person and they won't be extravagant. So here we see that his Saturn being less also shows that academically he has not excelled. This is also shown if you see the fingers, the second, which stands for business acumen, and the third are also very strong. But the thing is that the third is puffy, so he likes the joys of life, and the second shows that he is, has command over language. The first, they are not shaped in a way which shows academic achievement. They're not that strong, and coupled with that, the Saturn mount is not that strong. So he, I think, was very less educated formally. I think he didn't even complete secondary school. Then he worked odd jobs, but he was always like even in school or wherever he was known as the uh, Bible guy. He always had the Bible, and he was teaching kids in his spare time. So he always had this inclination. Now, where does this power come from? That is the mount of Apollo. It is the strongest mount on his palm. We also see this mount in Arnold Schwarzenegger and many prominent newscasters, media personalities, because Apollo is one. It's very lucky. If you have Apollonian, he's a Napoleonian, so they are naturally very lucky. Similar to Sagittarius in astrology, and they are very lucky in the things. Basically, they won't be lucky in anything to do with academia, anything serious, doctor, accountant. Even though I know doctors who also have this mount, but they will also have another. They will basically be doctors who will work very hard at a job, but then open a side business, especially related to medical, which is their field, and then they will excel. So they excel through risk. If you see the third finger, it is so long because they are very risk taking. And this risk taking is like what is the most risk taking profession? Business. So they make very excellent businessmen. They make a very good spokesperson. They are not very deep. They have knowledge of various things. They will surprise you with knowledge. Like they will be sitting in a class of scientists, professors, but while sitting there, they will have these tidbits of knowledge because they are very good at telling you simplifying things. So that's why they also make good teachers. but they also make showy teachers. Like, they have this tendency to show off their wealth and knowledge, and but they are not yeah, in the bad sense, they can become narcissistic, but in the good sense, they are always like good-hearted, and they are mostly very lucky that they are not like, even if they like mostly go out of line, get have outbursts of anger, they are easily forgiven by society, because they spread the love, they spread the light of Apollo they spread. So they are very fun loving. To them, life is fun. Like, they cannot, like, they're the Libra people. Like, they need fun and work. And work for them is basically, even if they do the serious professions, they will be inclined to take risks, like not uncalculated risks. Like, if they're accountant or something like very serious profession, they will like have a side hobby, or maybe they want to run a business. Basically, they will be drawn to the limelight somehow, or pushed to the limelight. So anywhere you go, you see very popular people, naturally popular. They don't have to be successful. They don't have to be rich. They will like have tidbits of knowledge. They will present knowledge in a very awesome way. That way, Apollo people shine. Like, even if a Apollo person becomes a palmist, you have to compare them with a Saturnian person who is very well versed, will write dozens of books on palmistry, and will have more knowledge than this person. But this Apollo person, with the, even by reading some of that book, will like maybe open up a stall and become popular. So they know how to market something. So in a way, they're also like Capricorns. They know how to market something and commercialize something. So again, what leads them down is that they become very over showy, very extravagant, very egotistic. But again, the good qualities of TB Joshua outweigh the bad. First, we see that the Venus Mount is also very prominent, which makes him very loving and caring. If we also see the very good thing about this hand is that the main lines are visible, the minor lines are very less. We do see travel lines here, but of course, he traveled to spread his message when he became famous. We also see that, as mentioned, that his fate line is exceptionally weak. This is his fate line basically. And if you see, it is coming from the Mount of Moon, which is the domain of public approval, public work, etc. And then we see that it straightens around 25. So he opened the church he was known for at 24. So you see the accuracy of the palmistry, that when it straightens, that means that he's following one path. Before that, he was doing many things. So it shows that at 25, he began following one path instead of many paths. And then we also notice that there is a very strong line from the lifeline. And this is, I always consider these lines even better than having a strong fed line, which is even proof that he had, he was worth 10 to 15 million dollars. And we see this launches at 40. So he did some achievement at 40, which, as it is going towards the Saturn mount, netted him very, a lot of money, a lot of cash in the bank. And then we also see that his headline and lifeline are joined for long, but he is getting success at 25. Like here, it is joined till, I would say, early 30s. But why is it joined? Because he is like, what do you say, like many people asked him that why don't you have more branches outside Africa? So he said, no, it should be close to home. And if we see that most of it, because of him, the Nigerian tourism industry, went up. So this is because simply because he is like, if we see the connection means that he is connected to either his family, his deep roots. He also said that he is connected to some old ancestor of his, and he was instructed by God, etc. So we see that he has this. He must have been very close to his family, not only family members like mother, father, but also the close friends, extended family in Nigeria. So that is why people like this. Even if you see the hand of Amir Khan, he is also like, he can work internationally, but he prefers to work in India. But his works like Lagan, they are internationally recognized. So if you have this kind of formation, that is usually happening. And also very interesting point to make, that in the book, The Palmistry for Professional Purposes, there it is said that if the person's headline and lifeline are joined, they will not be timid, because the Apollo mount and the Jupiter mount will negate anything about this line. So what happens is that's why I say that the mounts are also very important to be studied. So we also see one drawback of his hand, that there is this narrow spacing between the head and heart line, but that is not totally negative, as when the headline passes the 36 year, and that is, he becomes very open to other people's opinions. First, he was only looking at his opinion, but now he sees multiple perspectives, which led to this fate line rising. And then we also see the heart line. It is starting from above. It is starting in the perfect place between Jupiter and Saturn. So it means that he's equally loving and equally materialistic. That's the reason for his success. And if we look at the overall hand, we don't see it very squarish. We don't see it very practical. We see like mostly pointed fingertips, which show idealism, conic fingertips actually, which show an artistic touch to everything. He loves beauty in everything. He is not necessarily an artist, but he can be an advocate for art or religion. And even Apollo people, they, even though they don't appear religious, they will have a very good opinion about religion. Basically, they will be very fixed on their opinion. Like if they are monotheist, they will remain monotheist throughout their lives, no matter what their profession is, no matter how much they get invested in art. You cannot change their opinion on religion. So this is why they also become successful as preachers, etc. They might not have much knowledge about any subject, but they will be very good at presenting it. And we also see that the thumb is excellent. As I said, it's long. We also see that the phalanges, if we see the phalanges, the third, which stands for love, is also there. That means he was, as I said, this person is very loving, very caring. I can see the hand that he's caring, but he's also self-indulgent. If we see that the third world is most developed, the third phalanges are very developed. So this means that he has a love of eating, love of good things. So this man, like his main goal would be two things: to spread the message of God, and to with that to spread love, and second to have the luxuries of life. So when the person themselves have these aims, that's why you see when you have aims in life, you get it when you start applying it. That's why the fate line straightens. That's why you, even without a strong fate line, this guy is a millionaire. This hand itself debunks the theory that you need a strong fate line or money line or Saturn line to become successful. No, this like hand itself proves that. And we see the thumb. Lastly, we see the thumb. It is very flexible, so he can adapt to any situation. This, like, if a person comes and says a question out of the blue, he can answer it, and it is very long. This shows that he had very good self-control. He thought with his head, even though his head and heart line are mostly balanced, but he was head-oriented. But the problems he would have faced, controversies he would have faced, that he was very, what do you say, self-indulgent, money-loving. I won't say selfish, because materialistic and selfish are different terms. So that's why he can end up in controversy, because his all. But again, he had success because of the balanced heartline. As I said, it's between idealism and realism, because every decision he took had was profitable and also spread love. So a very good personality. As per his hand, I see that this person is not a con artist. This person is a very good talker. We also see that the headline is going towards the Mount of Moon. So this person had the gift of spirituality, gift of the creative realm, the spiritual realm, because the Mount of Moon represents spirituality. It's also very developed Mount of Moon. This means that this person, he might have gained weight in his life, or had a tendency to gain weight. These people, yeah, they tend to overeat, so that can cause health problems and early death as well. Depends on the overall hand, but again, I don't see anything negative about this guy. A very smart person, but not academically smart and not too deep. He won't know the deep meanings of religion, but he will know how to, publicize it. And if this person would have never strayed from the path of God, because they're Polonians, they have fixed thoughts on religion. So thank you so much for watching, and rest in peace, TB Joshua.